all of a sudden we kind of had a family sickness. First, I think it started off with my father. He got sick, then I got sick, then I passed on to my mom, and then my sister got sick. Instead of her just getting rid of the sickness, she got really sick, and she couldn't wipe it off. She couldn't get rid of it. She missed school for a few days, and I remember on the Sunday going to school picking up her homework, and my mom was saying, "Oh, she's doing a lot better. She'll be coming back to school in no time." But then that night, something happened. I wasn't there. I was sleeping in the next room, but my mom walked in, and apparently she was very cold and sick, and it was time for her to go to the hospital. But I just remember that night being very slow. Everything was happening very slowly. And then I remember finally dawn happened. My Uncle Wayne drove me to the hospital. And I remember seeing the shadow on a door. And I thought to myself, it was stupid, the thought, but I remember saying to myself, if the shadow goes over the window line, it means my sister passed away. And as we went down the 401, the shadow went over the windowsill. And I thought, oh, stop thinking that. That's very scary to think about. Don't be thinking that. Like, she's okay. She's in the hospital. Like, she's going to be fine. But then I remember getting to the hospital, and she wasn't there anymore. She was gone. I felt I had to mature a lot quicker. I realized what life could be and what it is. It wasn't all fun and games. It was in a blink of an eye. Someone could pass away, and that someone could be your sister. You lose sense of yourself. You kind of lose your path, I find. You still live your life and you still know what you want, but it's not as strong. It's almost like your whole life just got shaken up again and like got resorted. Like a different deck of cards just got sorted in front of you. And it's like, whoa, like I wasn't expecting that. But you still play the game. I remember seeing my father, and he took it the hardest. He said he doesn't drink, but I felt like he did, especially after everything we went through. And he would always just put on the TV and let me watch TV or go on the computer by myself. Wasn't like I could play with my sister anymore. She wasn't there. My dad was probably hungover, so he's just sleeping in the bed. And then my mom doing everything she can. Specifics I can't even say because she kept that to herself. Grieving, it's different for everybody, obviously. It can be tears. It can be just talking about it. It can be having an interview with someone. It could be just drawing. My grieving started when I drew out my feelings, and I found out I thought I killed my sister from being sick. I thought it was my fault. That took so much for me to realize it wasn't my fault. But I wouldn't have known that without drawing. I would draw a house with pretty fences and trees and flowers and sunny days, and then what would happen after my sister passed? It was thunderstorms and rain and dead trees, and it all gets hidden inside of you, and it's hard to express it. Some people like to write. I'm not a writer myself, but every once in a while writing a journal and getting your feelings out on a piece of paper and just burning it, that's something that makes it feel like it just got released. Or I always, the first year I put a note on a balloon for my sister. I sent it up there to the skies, and now I know realistically it probably popped and then went somewhere else, but the visual and the feeling of letting go of that secret note that was just yours that you wanted to give to that person, my sister, and let it just release and let it out of your hands. It's harder than you think, but it's such a relief. It makes you want to breathe again.